At the age when most princes were still learning how to rule, one young king set out to conquer the known world, not with endless numbers, not with unlimited wealth, but with unshakable confidence, brilliant strategy, and a belief that he was destined for greatness. And within just 13 years, he would create the largest empire the ancient world had ever seen. This was the epic story of Alexander the Great. Born in the rugged kingdom of Macedonia, Alexander was raised under the shadow of power, trained in warfare from childhood, and educated by Aristotle himself, learning philosophy, science, and politics alongside swordsmanship and leadership, shaping him into a ruler who believed that strength and intellect must walk together. When his father was assassinated in 336 BCE, Alexander, only 20 years old, suddenly inherited the throne, surrounded by enemies, rebels, and doubters who believed the young king would fail. But instead of retreating, he moved with lightning speed, crushing revolts in Greece, destroying rebellious cities, and proving that he was not a weak successor, but a born commander. With his homeland secured, Alexander turned his eyes eastward toward the greatest superpower of the time, the mighty Persian Empire, a vast realm stretching from Anatolia to India, ruled by King Darius III, who commanded enormous armies and unimaginable wealth. And in 334 BCE, Alexander crossed into Asia with barely 40,000 soldiers, beginning a campaign that would rewrite history. His first major victory stunned the world, as disciplined Macedonian phalanxes and fast-moving cavalry shattered much larger Persian forces, proving that skill and leadership could defeat sheer numbers. With each victory, Alexander's reputation grew, attracting allies, supporters, and legends. The turning point came in 331 BCE at the Battle of Gaugamela, where Alexander faced Darius in a massive showdown, with hundreds of thousands of soldiers spread across vast plains, war chariots racing forward, dust filling the air, and the fate of empires hanging in the balance. And in a moment of daring brilliance, Alexander led a direct charge at the Persian center, breaking enemy lines and forcing Darius to flee, ending Persian dominance forever. After this victory, the gates of the empire opened one by one as Alexander marched into royal capitals, seized immense treasuries, and presented himself not as a destroyer, but as a rightful ruler, adopting Persian customs, respecting local traditions, and blending cultures under his command. In Egypt, he was welcomed as a liberator, crowned as pharaoh, and founded a new city that would become a center of learning and civilization, Alexandria, designed to unite Greek knowledge with Eastern wisdom, a symbol of his dream to merge worlds into one empire. But Alexander was not satisfied with ruling what he had conquered. He wanted more, driven by ambition, curiosity, and a desire to reach the edge of the earth itself. And so he pushed his exhausted army eastward, across deserts, mountains, and rivers, through modern Afghanistan and Central Asia, facing fierce resistance, harsh climates, and constant danger. By 326 BCE, he reached the borders of India, where he faced powerful local kings and war elephants for the first time. And in a dramatic clash against King Porus, Alexander fought one of his toughest battles, crossing flooded rivers under enemy fire, outmaneuvering massive beasts, and winning through courage and tactical genius, earning the respect even of his defeated enemy. Yet here, at the edge of the known world, his army finally broke, worn down by years of marching, endless wars, and longing for home, refusing to go any further. And for the first time, Alexander was forced to turn back, beginning the long and painful journey west. The return was as deadly as any battle, as thousands died crossing burning deserts, suffering from hunger, thirst, and exhaustion, while Alexander himself shared their hardships, walking beside them, refusing comfort, determined to lead by example until the very end. In 323 BCE, after returning to Babylon, the heart of his empire, Alexander began planning even greater campaigns, dreaming of conquering Arabia and beyond. But suddenly, at just 32 years old, he fell ill and died, leaving behind no clear successor and an empire that stretched from Greece to India. Without his leadership, his generals fought for power, dividing the empire into rival kingdoms, slowly dismantling the unity he had created. Yet even as his political empire collapsed, his cultural empire endured. Greek language, art, science, and philosophy spread across 3 continents, blending with Eastern traditions, creating the Hellenistic world, a new civilization that shaped medicine, astronomy, architecture, and politics for centuries, proving that Alexander's greatest conquest was not land, but culture. From mountain battlefields to desert marches, from palace halls to raging rivers, Alexander led from the front, fought beside his soldiers, and dared to dream beyond human limits, becoming not just a king, but a legend. In just 13 years, he conquered more territory than most empires achieved in centuries, changed the map of the ancient world, and proved that a single determined individual could alter the course of history. From a young prince in Macedonia to the ruler of half the known world, Alexander's story remains one of the most dramatic, heroic, and awe-inspiring journeys ever recorded. A timeless reminder that true greatness is born from vision, courage, and the will to challenge the impossible.